Hey guys, welcome to Mr. Smith's Kitchen. Brian, Mr. Smith, Kitchen, as always. Today's Wednesday, thought we'd do some cooking. So today we're going to do a dish that I found on the interwebs, and I don't remember right offhand what website it was, but I'll leave it in the link down below. I don't even remember now what I was trying to use that inspired this dish, but I think I just looked up quick dinners. And this popped up, and it's a cashew chicken with rice noodles. And I thought, ooh, rice noodles. Never had them before. Sounds interesting. And I like cashews. I like chicken. I like all the other ingredients in this. So I don't know why I wouldn't like this. It's almost, in a way, similar to the pork peanut dragon sauce dish we did, the ramen we did a couple weeks back. And that was wonderful. So if this is half as good as that, we'll be in good shape. Like I said, rice noodles were something interesting, something different. I've never done those before. But it's got all the usual suspects that kind of come with Asian cuisine. It's got garlic. It's got, chicken, obviously, soy sauce. It's got a couple different oils, peanut and sesame oil. It's got cashews, obviously. It's got a sweet chili sauce. Some of this I ad-libbed. I added to it. I added some red peppers to it, some bell pepper. We added some, that's exactly what we added. Some chicken broth, some birdseed, just some things. So, real quick, when I look up recipes, I don't look up just a recipe. I look up several versions of the recipes, and I also read a good majority of the comments that come with them. And sometimes there's like 4 comments, sometimes there's like 400 comments. But I want to see what other people did. That way, if it's something that I feel like I might want to change up a little bit, I can make it my own, which is kind of cool. So, I did. But, anyhow, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I am glad you stopped by. I hope you get something out of this video. Check out some of the other ones. If you're returning, awesome even more. That means I did something right, and you deemed me worthy enough to use some of your valuable time to hang out with. And I love to hang out with you guys. Don't take that for granted. If you're a newer subscriber, welcome. I'm so glad you stopped by. That is awesome. Speaking of which, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. The notification bell is right next to the subscription button. All of that, and any part or whole gets us out into the algorithm of other people to help grow our neighborhood. That way we can be good neighbors through food and communication. Just being nice to each other. Taking a neighbor a slice of pie, saying hello. That leads to, how's your day? But anyhow, and check us out on Facebook, MrSmithsKitchen.com, or MrSmithsKitchen.com, coming soon. But Facebook group. I always share recipes there. Me and Chris are always on there posting some recipe of some sort, whether it be baked goods or dinners. Either way, no questions to answer. Not even, are you a robot? It's okay. All I ask on either this or that is you be nice, be respectful. I love comments. I respond to all of them. Be polite when you respond. So, that being said, let's get down to the counter. We're going to start making this quick dish because it does not take long to make it all. And we'll talk about some things I prepared ahead of time, which still didn't take long at all. And what we're going to do and in what order we got to do it in. Hold on for me just 1 second. Let's get down to that counter. Okay, so down here at the counter, the stovetop, at any rate, things you will need: a pan. You will need a recipe. Other than that, you may need a couple pots. So here's what I did prior to where we are now. I just prepped 2 things. I have some broccoli here, which is an addition of my own, and I steamed it. That way to give it a good head start so we didn't have to wait on it to cook. And it's cooled down, but that way I don't lose any of the good nutritional values of it. It's got a nice green to it. And this is a fresh broccoli. You can use frozen. It's 6 1/2 a dozen the other. And the other thing I did, which we could have done while we cooked this, I guess, is I went ahead and made my rice noodles. Right here they are. And I'll tell you how much of each here in a little bit. But cooking rice noodles is really neat. Unless you're serving them cold with a cold dish, if you're serving them with a cold dish, you boil them. If you're serving them in a hot dish, You just let them soak in hot water for 10 minutes or so until they soften up. Really cool. So I prepped both those two so we didn't really have to wait to go through that. Now, my skillet, I'm using a cast iron skillet. Use whatever skillet you have available. You can even use a wok with this. But I'm using a cast iron skillet. So first thing we need to do while this is heating up is let you hold on for me 1 second while I go get a bowl because I didn't get a bowl. Hold on for me. So I'm back. Did you miss me? I missed you. As always. So first thing we need to do is make our sauce. All right. So like I said, I got the recipe right here. If you are new to the channel, if we like the recipe, we keep it. If we think it's okay and we can modify it, we'll keep it and modify it. If we don't like it at all, we just throw it out. So the first thing we need to do is cook our rice noodles, which we've done, and we set them aside. So in a small bowl, we are going to combine. Now I've doubled this recipe, and I'm going to give it to you doubled. You could easily half this. I have a half a cup, which is 150 milliliters of soy sauce. I'm going to put that in there. Boom, right off the bat. I am going to add some sweet chili sauce. It is 2 tablespoons of sweet chili sauce. Well, I've got 4 here, but yeah, 4 tablespoons of sweet chili sauce, which is 60 grams. We're going to put that in there. Yeah, get that in, which looks amazing. We are going to add, see if I can get things moved. I've got 5 cloves of garlic here, or you can do 3 large cloves. If you half it, do 3 regular cloves. So, but 5 large cloves of garlic in the mix, just like such. Then we are going to add 1/4 teaspoon of crushed red pepper. All right, red pepper flakes, right? And if you don't like them, you don't have to add them. That's an addition of mine. I used a heaping 1/4 teaspoon, but like I said, you don't have to use any. You can use double, however you want to work it. All right, there is my oven. Give me 1 second. I got to get this stuff out of the oven. Sorry about that. I had to get the egg rolls out. So we've got our soy sauce, our chili sauce. We've got our garlic in there. We've got our red pepper flakes. Next thing we're going to add is not that quite yet. We are going to add about a cup and a half, which is 220 milliliters of chicken broth or chicken stock into that. Give that a good whisk. And while we're whisking it, I'm going to take 2 tablespoons of cornstarch and I'm going to put that in. And then we're just going to give that a good whisk up. So what that's going to do is thicken it up and help it to stick to the noodles and the chicken and the vegetables we're throwing in. So we got that in. Give that a good whisk. Just like that. Excellent. So then we'll take our next ingredient, which is the star of the show other than the rice noodles, and that is our chicken. I've got 2 pounds of chicken breast in here. I've got it cubed up, about 3/4 to 1 inch pieces, just like such, and I'm going to pour this over the top. Now I've got my cast iron skillet on, okay, and I've got it warming up. So if you're using cast iron, you already know the rules. Let it warm up slowly, but you want to get it going ahead of time. And if you're using a non-stick or a stoneware, I'm pretty sure you can just pretty much turn those on and drop a hat and they get hot. So we'll take that. We'll give that a good stir. Just to get that chicken in there, get it going, right? Yep. That's what we like to do. Just like such. And then we are going to take 1 tablespoon of sesame oil. We're going to pour that in the pan. Right? We're going to take 1 teaspoon of, oh my goodness. Yeah, sesame oil and, let me read my directions, I guess, Brian. Oh, peanut oil. She's a Pete. Throw that in the pan. We're going to get it smoking up. Right? Get that smoking. That is hot. Now I'm going to grab a spoon. We are going to take our chicken out of here. All right, a little bit of time. I just wanted it to soak in there for a minute. And we're going to put it in here to stir fry. All right, high heat. Okay, so we got our chicken pretty much seared, looking good. Now, I pulled it back out of that sauce because I didn't want to cook it in the sauce, but I wanted that flavor of the sauce to cook in with the chicken. That way I could get it seared and I can get that flavor in. So now, the next thing we're going to do is I sliced up one red pepper, one medium style sweet red pepper, bell pepper. I'm going to put that in there, right? I have got the tops of some green onions. I've got them sliced at a bias, about 1.5 inches, 2 inches. I'm going to put those in there. Look at that. Look how colorful that looks. It looks beautiful. That's kind of what drew me to that recipe. There's a little bit of sweet chili sauce left in there. I'm going to grab that out of that bowl. And then we're going to take our broccoli, throw that in. Look at all that color. Oh, looks fabulous. And then the last thing we're going to add in, that was 2 heads of broccoli. All right, just the tops. I didn't buy the whole stalks. I find it cheaper, since I don't really use the stalks very often, to just buy the heads. And then it's about 80 cents cheaper to just do that. And then I have 1.5 cups of cashews. And they're just split. Yeah, some of them are split, some of them are whole, but they started out as whole cashews. We're going to put those in. Get those mixed up. And then last but not least, by any means, that sauce we took the chicken out of, we want to use it. We definitely don't want to leave that behind. So we're going to put that in there. Right? Now you're asking yourself, what's that big bowl sitting beside him? Because I made a double batch, I'm not going to be able to put it in with the noodles. That's just the flat out dope. So we're going to mix it in the noodles. That's how I'm going to serve it, is in that big old pot. But meanwhile, I am going to turn the heat down on this a little bit. I've been cooking everything on medium high to high, closer to the high side. That way I can get the sear on the chicken. And the oil is a high temperature oil, so it'll handle it that we put in there. But I've turned it down. We got a little bit of boil going on there. So now I'm just going to put the lid on this as soon as I go get it. Hold on one second. Put the lid on this. I'm just going to let it cook for about 5 minutes. That way it'll get those vegetables a chance to soften up. So when I get back, we'll do the last step and we can plate it up and give it a try. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, so we let this cook for about 5 minutes. And all we were doing is letting the red peppers get a little soft. The broccoli get a little more tender. Let all those flavors mold together. I don't know if maybe I'm sure you have, because you guys are professionals and eat all the cool stuff. But when you make Asian style dishes and you put nuts in it, peanuts, whatever, they have a tendency to get a little soft, and that's exactly what we're allowing that to do, and it thickened up a little bit. So now we're ready to just put this over the noodles. Now, if you were halving this recipe, which was pretty much the original recipe, you would you could probably fit this all in this pan, but there are 6 of us here, so we don't ever do just a recipe. We almost always double. And a funny story real quick before we get dumping this in here and mixing it up. So, as you may know if you follow me for a little bit, I try to shoot my videos in the same day. And today is really Wednesday, it's not Tuesday. And I was shooting my baking video for a pecan butter pie. And my brand new laptop decided to not cooperate and work anymore. It won't charge. So now I got to send it off. And I have no way of editing that video until I get it back. So tomorrow, who knows? But anyhow, let's focus on today. I just thought that was kind of a funny story of misery. So we're going to take this off. We are going to pour it in the dish as gently as possible. I am kind of battling things 1.5 handed. If you remember 3 weeks ago, if you've been following me for a minute, I hurt my arm. Well, come to find out, I really did not break it. I was very happy. But what I did was inflame some tendonitis I didn't know I had and pulled several muscles at the same time. Quite the treat. I'm so happy to hear that. I was actually happy to hear I didn't break it because I was worried to no end that I wasn't going to be able to work. I just got to figure out what I did with there they are, the tongs. So that way we can mix this all up. Wow, that looks so good. And like I said, I'm feeding 6. Now, you could say, Brian, that was, a lot. That was 16 ounces of rice noodles, okay, which in my case was 2 packages of rice noodles. We did 2 pounds of chicken breast, 2 heads of broccoli, 1 red pepper, 6 things of garlic, and right offhand, I don't remember the exact measurements for the sauce other than 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. So, and a cup and a half of cashews. And you're like, Brian, that's a ton of food. And you're right, it is. But what this is tonight's dinner, tomorrow's leftovers. When I cook for, more than one day. Definitely want to be able to take this and eat on it for a couple days. Like I'll eat this tomorrow for lunch. Me and Chris will. And then we may skip a day and then have it on a Saturday for leftover day, right? Everybody should have a leftover day, especially if you cook frequently. And that way you don't waste your food. And if you do end up having to get rid of it or throw it out, put it in your garden. Put it in your compost pile. Don't put it in the trash. That way it recycles itself, gives the ground nutrients. All right. I believe we can call this one a done deal. But I'm still going to let it sit here for just a minute because, like always with protein, that's hot. I mean, that's hot. Like, just come off the skillet hot. You won't taste anything because you'll be busy melting your face off. So, we don't want to melt our face off, so we're just going to let this sit here for a couple minutes. Collect its thoughts, settle down, and then when I come back, I'll have everything cleaned up. And we can try some. How's that sound? All right, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay, so we let her sit for a minute, calm down, relax, get to know each other flavor-wise. That way we don't melt our face off trying to eat it. Sarah says hi. And we'll get her plate up here. These noodles are amazingly long. I'm excited. I always like to try new things. Yeah, how were you as a kid? Or if you have kids, how are your kids? Do they like to try new things? That was one thing I can honestly say. I would eat anything, new or indifferent, unless I didn't like it. And about the only thing I never cared for was lima beans. And to this day, I still don't care for lima beans. There we are. I think that looks delicious. And we're having it with egg rolls this evening. So let me get a fork here. I'll bring you up so I can see your smiling face and you can watch me make a pig of myself, because that's what I do. I still don't quite altogether grasp the, let's eat in front of you thing. I mean, other than I'm going to try it, but I mean, really, I could be lying to you. I could be like, oh, it tastes fantastic. It could taste horrible. I wouldn't do that because it serves no purpose. But, all the same, I could. I mean, I could be like, oh, this is great. And you try it and you're like, Brian, that was crap. But we'll see. I'm just more excited about the rice noodles. Never had it before. Maybe if I can get some on my fork there. I apologize now in advance if I look horrible doing this. The flavor is outstanding. Those noodles are interesting. I don't know what I expected, but those are they're good. They've got a unique texture. They, like I said, I didn't know what I was expecting, but maybe more like a spaghetti noodle, like a flour noodle. But no, it's got a good texture. It's a solid texture. I was worried about it being mushy because it's rice. Yeah, quite delicious. Yep, I wouldn't change anything. That is the best Asian spaghetti I've had ever. But yeah, that's awesome. So give this a try. Let me know if you do. That's really good. I don't think you'll be disappointed at all. It's got just the right amount of spice in it from the sweet chili sauce plus the crushed red peppers I put in it. It doesn't have an overbearing garlic taste. The chicken broth was a nice addition. It left a little bit of, it left just enough juice in there that it didn't soak it all up. It kept everything wet. That's awesome. And judging by the picture of the dish I saw when they made it, that's what we were going for. So give this a try. Let me know if you do. Leave me a comment down below. Find me on Facebook. Let me know if you tried it there. I know you won't be disappointed by any means. So tomorrow, like I said earlier, with my laptop going down today while I was filming the butter pecan cake, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it on this week, so it may be next week. So I don't know for sure what we're going to do tomorrow. But I've got a handful of things I want to try that I have on the Facebook page, on Mr. Smith's Kitchen's Facebook page. So it might be one of those dishes. I have enough baking material here that we can try anything, and everything that's on that page, unless it's a picture of something I haven't made yet. So we may try something there. But that being said, till tomorrow when we make dessert, and that way we have a complete meal for the week that you can try. Yeah, I love you. I love you very much, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Really, I wouldn't say it if I didn't mean it, and I mean it with all sincerity. Tell somebody else you love them, and that you love them very much. It's going to make them feel so much better. It's going to make you feel better telling them, right? It's important to hear sometimes, and they may need to hear it. They may have just had one of those days. And if you make them some of these, creamy, creamy chicken and rice noodles, man, they're going to know that you cared enough, right? And it'll be a good conversation. Conversation is important. Talking is important. So, till tomorrow for dessert, I love you. And I will see you then. Talk to you later. Bye.